Hello everyone, thank you to be here. It's an amazing event again. It's the 9th edition, as Morgane has said. I need to keep my voice slow for the translator, so I must remind myself to do that. So it was quite a journey. It seems 9 days ago, but it's 9 years that we are having this event here. It started in 2016. And the first intention to have this event was, okay, we are not so many practicing, and how to make new friends. And I said, let's call the Breatharians speakers and let's see what is going to happen. And so I asked the very famous Breatharians if they would come here. It was in June in the first edition. And everyone came. We did it only 3 days, the first edition, with 12 speakers. But there was Jasmine spoke, there was Henri Montfort, there was already famous Breatharians coming. Huh? And we were 150 people. And then it was increasing until we had this friend called the COVID who came along and said, hey, humans, what are you doing? And so we had to reset a bit. And so now we're still here. So ninth edition, it's a very, very particular number. Because as you know, here is also a Pranic Center, Eden Pranic Center. And we facilitate people every month. And we organize initiation process. And we organize 9 days is the minimum process that we do as an initiation. So it resonates quite a lot with this 9th edition of the Pranic World Festival. So because number 9 is the time of gestation for a new human being to be created. So this is what we're doing. When we talk about Breatharianism, inertia, autonomy, source feeding, living on light, pranic living, all these names, it means that something is happening at the cellular level, on the genetics of our being, because we are touching with our consciousness, that is the guide of our being. We are touching the directions of all our system, all our organs, all our cells and atoms. And so we are creating literally a new direction for human beings. And so, because of the good work we have been doing for 9 years, we have a lot of information on our YouTube channel. All the videos of what we're doing now are going to be published afterwards. Some are published a bit late, but they are still going to be published on our YouTube channel to be available for everyone. There is no rush. We do not need to haste anything in our life. Our mind is always trying to control and trying to organize things in a way that it has to match. But in reality, life is already doing everything for us. So our mind is more interfering with what is the real mind of the universe and the real mind of life. Now, myself is 12 years I'm practicing. And so after 3 years of practice, I was receiving all this information from this new supermind, what we call the superconsciousness, the supermind. And the guidance is more and more the more you practice, but it takes years before you relate with this new superconsciousness, supermind, what we call our natural state of being, literally. So there is something that slows down this connection with what we call the higher self also. And what slows down the connection is the food, the density of the food. This is why when we do these initiations that are 9 days or 21 days, it's only the first step of a long journey of reconnecting to what is our true consciousness and not alterated consciousness. When I say alterated consciousness, it means that conditions of what we consume through our mouth, that is like a USB hub, we take information of of food or any other substance, it creates an effect in our body. And that effect, when you take this kind of journey of eating lighter, you feel the increase and the change in consciousness. This is why it has to be sustainable. You cannot change too quick, too fast. So we are doing this since 9 years. Me, I'm practicing since 12 years. I'm going to talk about my journey also. But wherever you are on the journey, take it easy. It's a long journey. The information has refined itself, and it's no longer in 9 days you're going to become Breatharian, or in 21 days you're going to become Breatharians. You're going to have a first experience that is going to make you show with evidence that you are on the correct way. And so we're going to talk about these evidences. How the mind, because we need to use our mind, that is a mind that wants to understand, he needs to see that it is working. Because maybe it's not working, but you're not aware. And when you're not aware and it's not working, then you enter what we call fasting. What is fasting? So, we have given you a small booklet, and inside the booklet there is our definition of Breatharianism. Breatharianism is not fasting, as fasting, which generally involves weight loss, is not sustainable on an ongoing basis in time. So, when I don't like to read, I'm going to explain it to you, it's going to be easier. So when you reduce the amount of solid food that you intake and your body mass weight stays more or less the same and is very, very stable, then you know that something is happening in your being, that your cells are slowly adapting, that your vital force, because this is what we are talking when we talk about prana, chi, spirit, consciousness, it is literally inside of you, and it is what is fueling all your cells and all your atoms. So your vital force is getting stronger because you're giving less work to your system to deal with the food that you're consuming. Digestion consumes a lot of energy, of your energy. But if you stop eating from a day to another, as the rules of addiction and the rules of the memory and the rules of gentleness, you are rough with your body, with your system, he cannot organize a soft transition. And so you enter fasting. What you want is to organize a soft transition. This is why in our initiation process, we use the tool of liquids. So some people here are registered in the process. It's not only the liquids, it's also the guidance. You need someone to explain to you all the different details and all the different causes and effects that are happening in the body, in the being, and the change in the consciousness. You need guidance. It's very important to have support, to have facilitation, and so there are many facilitators here. I am one, but there are many Breatharians that are going to talk on this festival. You have the full list here. There are going to be 3 speakers a day, and many of them have very good information for you. We have started here with a very drastic way of doing the process. When we started 9 years ago, we started with only water. So people were happy in the moment they were doing it all together. But they were losing weight. And when they would go back to their home, then it would be a problem, because water, when you live in the city, when you have a very strong addiction with your habits, it means last month you were eating 3 times a day, and then you go through 21-day process on water. what's going to happen next? You need to learn how to use the tool of solid food and the tool of liquid food to balance your journey in real life, not only when you are in nature, not only when you are in a retreat, but when you are in your work, in your daily life, with friends, at work, with family, doing sport. And so this is why we changed our approach to give more calories, because this is what we have been doing as human beings on this planet since a long time, when we were still animal. And we still have this memory of our animal side. What does an animal do? An animal uses his mouth to chew, to bite, to rip, and to use all the muscles and the muscles of the jaw, and to use all that, and to use the digestion, and then everything that is not processed by the body is going to be expulsed. This is our ancient animal ways. Breatharianism is a new type of human being that we are creating, and this is a capacity of human being. You cannot ask a tree to do that. You cannot ask a cat to do that. It has to come from yourself, with consciousness, awareness, understanding of the causes and effect, what is happening to you, what is happening to the others because you're doing something to you. Because imagine suddenly in a family where everyone is doing correctly, following the manual of life, and suddenly someone is smoking a cigarette. Even smoking a cigarette is going to create a disturbance in a family that has very strong ways of doing. So if you are in a family that eats everything, and then suddenly because we know when you change just going vegetarian, or when you change just going vegan, everyone is asking what is happening, because something that you do for you, it's like an invitation for everyone else. And so when you choose the path of Breatharianism, it's even more a huge change. So you must be aware of that whatever you do to you, you're doing to all the creation. You're sending the information in the subtle realms of consciousness to everyone and to everything. So it's not only your responsibility. It's a shared responsibility with others. This is the reason why myself, sometimes I force myself. Force is, it's not too much a violence, but still I'm bringing violence to my body. I keep eating once a month solid food. Not every month, but I keep this link. Even if I know that I could drop it, but I keep it to keep in touch with what is the actual reality. We are living in a reality that is the reality that we see. With all this technology, with all these rules and regulation. But if we have extra energy, because this is about having extra energy, we are not lazy anymore. We are not tired anymore. So all these laws, rules, and regulation is not a problem. It's like a game. They are the rules of the game of life nowadays on this planet. So let's play the game. I remember myself when I was eating 3 times a day, 13 years ago, I was very tired and very lazy. It was difficult for me to do basic things. The strongest problem of our society today is stress. People are stressed, but stressed because of what? Not because of what is happening outside. It's because of what is happening inside of them. So literally, there are different stages in your life where food is going to impact you more or less. When you are young and you have a lot of energy to use, problems with food will not show. But when you start to be 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, you start feeling the change in the quality of your life. energy, sleep, aches in the body, problems are going to come. This is how we can understand that we can change and we can use, and we still need to use food as a tool of evolution. And so we need to learn. So, and this is what we're doing here. So, and this is what you're going to do every day with all the Breatharians, and we're going to talk. We're going to be able to exchange information, and this is why the festival has been born, is for everyone to have direct information and to meet each other, to make new friends, new contacts, and to see how we can evolve all together. Because if a part of this world is suffering and another part is apparently in joy, something is not going. So it is truly all together that we can achieve something, unity. Because this is truth, life works as a unity. And what creates separation, it is always too much. So when too much food is in the body, it creates too much use of your energy, and your energy is separates and inside, and you separate from the wisdom of life that is outside. The wisdom of life is literally the mountains, the hill, the sky, everything, the space, the planet, the stars, everything. We are just one. This is why the laws of our civilization will slowly change and adapt to what humans are experiencing. Today we are seeing a lot of violence because finally, but that violence was always there, but we didn't have the tools to see it, to understand it, to report it. So now we have all the information live and direct. The war that is happening down there, the problem that is happening there. And so it's a lot of awareness we are receiving, and that awareness is here for us to evolve and to understand how to evolve. So, I was speaking about evidence, scientific evidence we use. You can feel very good here, meditating under a tree, feeling the breeze of the air, the sun, feeling so great, wonderful time, but something maybe you're missing, that every day going by, you're exchanging your life force energy, that means your body mass weight, for reserves, because you're pushing too much and you're not aware. It means half a kg one day, a few 100 grams in another day, 1 kg. You will not be aware until you will feel very tired. Or maybe even worse, you will feel dizzy, you will feel weak, and you can faint. This is why we use a very simple tool to bring awareness, a scale. Ta-da! It's an amazing weapon of peace and awareness. Every day, so this is going to be available in the center, in the house for all of you. People who are doing the process, they are checking every day also. You check every day and you see what is happening to you. Your body, your cells, is your consciousness. If you hurt your finger here, you're going to change your happiness right away. Ah! So you don't want to damage your system and your body. If your body has a certain appearance, there's a reason for that. You cannot change because you want to change. You just can change only if you have the awareness, and slowly and gently. Because Breatharianism works like magic, like a miracle. There is a moment, literally I'm living this magic. Because before I was eating 3 times a day, now I'm drinking 3 times a day. So the amount of calories I'm consuming is ridiculous in comparison as before. And my state of presence, my state of consciousness, even if someone say, oh, Nicolas is not good vibration and things like that, I know who I was before. You could not see me. I was in a cave, basically. So not in a cave, but I was smoking the cigarettes. I was using a computer. I was not very sociable. So I couldn't even speak like I'm speaking now. The flow was not there. Everyone is improving at every instant. what is sure with this journey is you're improving yourself. But it doesn't make you someone or somebody special. On the contrary. It's not because you're category 4 that you're better than category 3 or category 2 or category 1. Huh? Okay, this is very important. But for you, you're going to feel the betterness, and this is what is important. So you must not enter fasting, because fasting is fasting. What you want is to see the magic. And the magic is going to happen slowly if you go slowly and you give time to your cells, to your organs, to your system to organize the change. What you're doing here is just an experience, what you're doing here. What you want is afterwards to continue. If you lose 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 kilos here and you feel great, and then you go back home and you're going to see it's going to be very different field of energy. And if you eat again what you were eating before the festival in the same way, it's going to be like going up, going down. It's going to be very tough on you. So what you want is to gain experience. So here, if you're not in the process, keep your level of energy. If you're category 2, keep category 2. If you're category 1, keep category 1. We do not have all the types of food available, but Fabriano is very good Italian food, and you can enjoy food. Huh? This is food freedom, what we're doing. So every day you'll check your body. This is an invitation. I'm not going to go and see if you're taking your body mass weight, but this is how we function, and the results are amazing. Someone this morning weighed himself and he said, oh, I lost already 3 kg. Wow. This gives you awareness. Don't bring judgment. We are going beyond good and bad, beyond judgment. Just what is reality. It can change. One day it's going to be one number, the other day is going to be another number. Do not take it too seriously, but it can be a tool for you. So in our processes and in our initiation, we use other tools, but this I'm not going to talk about it too much now here. I'm going to talk a bit more towards the end of the festival. Also, I'll have another talk. Just to say a few words about the space here. It's from my mother's side. She's Italian. This is why I ended up in this space. So this is all private space. Usually I live in one of these tents that you see, the wigwams. I live in the woods. Lately the wind was so strong that I had to move my tent, and I had to go back in the house for a few months. But now I'm gonna get out and stay into the woods. I can live in a house. It's not a problem. I just want to harmonize my intentions of life with my thoughts, what I imagine to be for me the life of my dreams. So this is why I know that everything I do brings me a condition. It means that if I do something one day, I print a memory for the next day. And this is how we got in this situation as humans, because we don't even question our parents, our grandparents, our previous generations. We take everything as granted. We have to, because we are very small when we get born, and so we don't have the choice. But when you increase awareness and consciousness, you have the choice, and slowly you can re-question if what you're doing is really something that is still useful. It was useful maybe before, but is it still useful today for you? And this is how we evolve as humans. We use tools that we don't use all our existence. For example, to reach technology of mobile phone, we had to go through telegrams. We had to go through the previous phones. We had to go through all that type of technology for communications. So we have reached a situation in our civilization where now we can share direct communication. So thank you everyone to be online. Thank you everyone to be here. The festival is starting. maybe a few recommendations that we did not say before for the recommendations are here. So we have an issue with the dogs, of course. We decided all the dogs here or no dogs. And actually, because we record everything, sometimes we had dogs in the beginning and they were shouting in between each other. And we also have cats on the place. So we just decided no dogs on the land would be easier. So this is why. But we have nothing against dogs or against animals. On the contrary. We say that the animals, the act and the nature will act the same way humans act. Okay? So if we bring peace to each other, we're going to bring peace around us. It is literally working. And some of you maybe already feel it. This journey has to bring you something more. If it is not bringing you something more, food is very important that you consume because it's part of joy. There is conditional joy and unconditional joy. Joy and love is, for me, the same family. Love is maybe a better word. Conditional love, unconditional love. So what is love? Just a few words on the love. Love is the capacity for you to embrace a change that is according your consciousness. But you can match the consciousness of others if you decide so. It's just a choice. So the amount of love that you have, the amount of joy, it's your capacity to embrace a change for you and for the others. Okay? So this is what we call unconditional joy. Regardless of good or bad. Whatever is useful in the present moment, depending on all the conditions that are linked with your consciousness. And then this is unconditional joy and love. And conditional joy and love is when you receive a gift, when someone speaks nice to you, when you eat good food, when you have a nice car, when you have good money, when something comes in your field and gives you positivity or negativity. This is conditional joy or conditional suffering. What we call the state is literally, the word is equanimity. It means something that is balanced. It is something that stays like that does not get too high, too low. It's not emotional, it's sentimental, it's sentiment. Emotions is just something that is extreme. You don't want to be emotional, but you want to have to be in the feeling, yes, in the sentiment, yes. And this is what you're going to have by stabilizing your inner being. And this is what Breatharianism, Pranic living, is going to come to you after some years of good work and good practice. Great. So I'm just going to pause a bit and we're going to open up for some questions. Please.
Thank you, Nicolas, for this opening of the festival. It's a lot there that we could go into. But just for the sake of beginner's mind, can you please explain what do you mean by category 1, category 2, category 3 for someone who's new to this?
Thank you. Yes, these are... So, when I first started my journey, for me, Breatharianism was the information that was out there was very simple. It's no food, no drinking, and that is a Breatharian. In the beginning of my journey, I tried very hard to reach that state, and I did initiation But I was losing a lot of weight and I could never stabilize. It means I never stabilized my weight, or I did, but it was very low. It was 62 kg. Now I'm around 70, 73, 74 kg. It was too quick, too fast. So I said to myself, okay, I can do that, but I don't feel it's correct for me. But what I would like to do is something in between. Means eating once a week, maybe twice a week, having sometimes some food with friends, but most of the time on liquids, because I was feeling better. In that period, there was nothing existing around that was explaining what we call the middle way. And so I said to myself, organizing the festival, I need to speak about this because I didn't know how to present myself. Because I was not category 4, I was not category 1 or 2, I was category 3. That is the middle way. That is playing around with food, but in a very different way than before. So I created these categories. And so I am the creator, because I know that these categories now, they are everyone expanding around the world, and some Breatharians are using them, and it's very good. This is the purpose of it. So category 1 are the humans that did not organize a change of the way they nourish since they are born. Even if you are born a vegetarian, you did not have a change of energy inside of you. When someone is omnivore and eats everything and becomes a vegetarian, it's a huge change of energy inside of him. This is when he increases awareness and consciousness. He realizes the causes of effect. The beginning, he realized the effects of food inside of him. So he's getting lighter. But if someone starts his life as a vegetarian or as a vegan, he doesn't have that awareness. You need that awareness. You need to understand. There's no magic shortcut on this. Someone comes to you, I'm going to make you a Breatharian in 1 week. Does not work. You need to have the consciousness and the knowledge of how it works. The knowledge of the effect of the solid food inside of you and the liquid food. And from that, you can decide how you want to balance yourself. So category 1, category 2 are the ones who have moved their energy. It's not only with the food. Someone who does a lot of sport is also activating a lot of his energy. People who do a lot of sport, we see them. They have a lot of energy. They are already playing around with their vital force, just without even changing their food. These people, if they organize a switch from category 2 and category 3, wow, it's going to work. It's going to work much better than if they were still category 1. You need to go slowly. You cannot go from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 right away. No, it has to be a kind of progressive change. But some people are already category 2 or maybe already category 3, but they are not aware of it. People who practice spiritual activities like prayers, mantras, singing, meditation, they are already playing around with their energies, and they are already category 2. So most of you are already category 2. And then category 3 is when you really, so people doing fasting also category 2, people doing 1 meal a day, people are doing all keto, people are doing all these kinds of practice, even people doing qigong, yoga, playing around with energy. Category 3 is something very different. You have activated your energy in such a way that they are supporting you more than before in an amazing way. So this is when you are what we call the Breatharians are category 3 or category 4. Most of the Breatharians you see here are category 3. The only category 4 are Swami Bai, who is going to speak this afternoon, anciently called Victor Troviano. Elitom Elamin, he was a period in category 4, but he's my last information, he's still playing around with some calories. And then we have this afternoon also Marta Nash. So someone is going to speak about her. She was a category 4. Okay, it's going to be at 3 p.m. today. We have Monica here, who was category 4 for also a few years maybe, but now she's category 3. So you can go for category 4 for some years, and if you want, you can come back also. Huh? This is what happened to Jasmine also. She was category 4 for some years, many years, and then she decided that her life has taken another direction and now enjoying some calories. Category 3 also. So category 4 are very rare. They are 1 out of 10 millions of humans. So there are just maybe 1,000 or 2,000 of them on the planet. You must know it's possible, but you can forget it. Because there's no process that can lead you to that, if not the process of you directly with life, from the grace of life. Okay? What you can do and what we encourage you to try is a facilitated process to have a first experience, to activate your energy and to see how it works. And the criteria are very simple. You need to have more energy than before when you were eating. You need to sleep good and to maybe sleep a bit less, because like that you have more time to enjoy life. You need to feel peace inside of you. It has to be a positive change for you and people around you. And you need to have a stable control of your body mass weight. You want to look at your family and to have nice cheeks, because if people look at you and you look a bit weak and you look a bit skinny, it's not going to be a good invitation for everyone around you. The way you express, it's very important. And there are Breatharians, the category 4 even, Henri Montfort and some others. I'm thinking also about Merit in Slovenia. They are abundant. It's like, it's okay, because this is how it works. At every instant you're receiving and generating everything that you need at every instant, but you're not aware of it. So when you're on category 4, it works. You're channeling and generating mass, energy. This is what you are. You're engine of love, engine of life. You're producing life at every instant. But the way you direct your life, if you direct it too much on consuming food and obliging your system of life to deal with the problem of the food digesting, you're going to have less to enjoy life around you and inside of you. So this is everything that you should evaluate and bring to evidence. It has to be evident. But if it works only for 5 days and then it's not working, this is fasting. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolas. Do we have any questions from the audience, live audience here? Now is your moment to speak up and ask a question if you have. And it's okay to be shy too, but we encourage you, if you have a question, now is the time to ask it. I have another question from online. So, and maybe while everyone here is thinking of their questions, we'll ask one from online. What is the greatest benefit you've experienced from becoming Breatharian?
Thank you. This is a very important and maybe the only question. Why are you doing this? Well, I've eaten so much in my life. Literally, there's not a food. Each time I was looking at something that I did not taste, I was curious, I was attracted. I had to try that. So when trying everything, it's endless, because humans create flavors, and you can travel all the world, going all the nations and trying all the exotic food, fruits. And then you take 1 year to do that, or maybe 2 years, and then you do it again. Everything has changed again, because imagination of humans is infinite to create flavors, and even the fruits, they change flavor. There are new ones, so it's endless. So when this information came to me, it was fantastic, because for me it was, oh, is this possible? Finally? Wow, I've never thought about that, to get out of the slavery of eating. This is interesting. But it came to me when I was 41 years old. Now I'm 53. It came to me because I said to myself, oh, this maybe could help me to feel a bit better, because I was feeling a bit of aches in the body. So I just say, okay, it works on others. I want to see if it works on me. It could be interesting. And I did it, and I had amazing healings. To be able to sleep like a baby again is fantastic. To be able to move your knees and to run and to not feel the aches of whatever you have been doing before damaging your body and your bones is fantastic. To have been a smoker for 20 years and to have listened to your dentist saying to you, your teeth are going to fall, you need surgery on the root, because this is how it works. And after my first process, after 1 month, I went back to see my dentist, and he says to me, oh, what have you done? You don't need surgery anymore. I said, oh, I just did fasting, like that. I did not explain. But this was evidence that my body literally restored. Not a full restoration, but wow. I was not aware. Luckily, the dentist told me. And this is only the beginning. The most important thing is to not feel the pressure of the suffering of life. The suffering, the psychological suffering, the mental suffering, the emotional suffering. Physical is one thing, but emotional and mental, they are higher energies. And if that is not good, the physical cannot be good. Mental suffering of society, of failures, the memory of emotions going in loop, everything of your life staying inside of you, like a package that you need, like a burden that you need to carry. All that suddenly disappeared. This is when you enter in the state. You enter literally what we call the kingdom. It's another state. Literally called by the ancients samsara nirvana. Kingdom of earth, kingdom of heaven. And it's only by changing what you consume. Amazing. Only by changing and refining the way you consume from solidity to liquidity in a sustainable way, you clean your cells. You clean, you restore, you renew your life inside of you. By renewing and allowing your life force energy to be renewed very quickly, it's like a cleansing. It's like a house that you have not been cleaning for so many years because you have been working every day, and when the work was done, you had only time for sleeping, wake up again, and work again. This is who people are when they eat 3 times a day. When you enter this journey, it's like going on holiday. So finally you can look at your house and say, oh, I'm going to start cleaning here, this room, this other room, and there's a lot to clean. And you start with the ground floor. And then you go on the 2nd floor, 3rd floor. There's a lot to clean. It means literally years. And me, after 12 years, I'm not done. There's more and more and more. Because it's not only about you. It's about the field of consciousness and humanity and the field of the universe of energy. So it's a long journey. But and you will be able to test it. Because I test it. Each time I eat solid food, all my ancient history comes back again, slightly, but I can see it coming back again. And this is why, okay, now I understand why I've changed and I'm not eating anymore as before. Because the state of peace that doesn't leave you, whatever is happening around you, you keep calm and you can act and you can be a human being, is wonderful. It's a true state of action, and this is what we are designed to be. So, the dissolution of suffering. To have a short answer. Sorry, I was a bit longer.
Oh, there's a lot for us to digest in that quote-unquote digest. Thank you.
There are questions.
There's questions. So, we're going to pass the mic.
So my question is, to start the process, can you hear? Yes. To start the process, you need to have done some basic cleanse of the body before, right? For example, for me, I would like to jump in the process right now, but I feel I'm too much. Did you hear it, what I said?
Yes, I can hear.
To start the process, you need to have done before some basic cleanse of the body.
That is the question. I'm going to answer.
For example, for myself, I would like to join a process now, but I feel I am too much stressed since a long time, too much intoxicated, so I would be not right. I don't know.
I'm going to answer. Thank you. So, the way we do the process in our center is you do not need so much preparation. Okay? You just need to be in a good state of health and to be aware of what you're going to do, the way we're going to do it. So you just need to get in touch with one of our facilitators here and have the correct information of what you're going to do and the way you're going to do it. There are many processes out there. Some are not processed, they are just fasting. You're going to lose a lot of body mass weight, and then you're going to eat a lot again when you're going to get out of it. And you will not understand what you've been doing. A pranic process has to be easy. You must not suffer. It has to be very easy. And literally for you, if you want to jump in, the first sharing we have today at midday for the process. And you can have the process here during the festival. It's a very good support because you have a good energy here. And you can start, if you feel it's okay, you can start today even. The way we do it. But if you go to another process, I will not name the Breatharians because I don't want to do good or bad publicity, you can be in real trouble. Thank you.
We have 2 more questions here from the audience, and we've got about 5 more minutes left, so I think we're in good timing. So, next question.
Rocco.
Hello. Okay, my question is to reach a total clean of the physical body and yet emotional body. It's necessary to go through some liver cleanse or colon cleanse. I don't know if it's the right way to say in English.
It's good.
Okay.
I understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, as Breatharianism and source feeding, food freedom is working on at the root cause of the problem. So we are going to work at the root of the tree, not at the level of the branches. So we are not going to look at how much shit you have inside of you. We are going to talk about how the shit came there in the first place. And we are going to start reducing the amount of stool you are going to produce in order for your body to receive more energy in order to restore your system. Okay, so we are not going to work on the direct problem, but we're going to go before. So you don't need to do enemas. You don't need to cleanse your. You need to do that if if it's really dangerous for you. It means some people cannot have a process because they are really in a big problem of dis-ease, physical problem. Okay, but for most of you that you are here, we are not going to work like fasting does. Fasting is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a lot of cleansing, and then for doing what? To go back eating as before. Okay? What we want is to let the intelligence of our being take over. So if people have too much stool, it's because they need to change their way of living. They are eating too much in their life. And people eating when they were 20 years old, they cannot eat the same when they are 50 years. It's impossible. Because we all know that the human body has a certain amount of energy that is going to fade away because oldness, aging is going to kick in slowly. But if you accelerate that because of the food, it's going to be even worse. We have capacity to live hundreds of 100, maybe I'm focusing on 150. But then in a few hundred years, people will go even further, probably. Okay, in expectation. We could live up to 100 and 120 now, but in a good health. Okay? So all this cleansing, for the way we do it, our process, you don't need to do before. You need to switch the way we think. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolas. This is really insightful, and this is an indication the type of process that Nicolas and Rafaela offer here at Eden Center is quite different than some other processes that we've seen, but also the information that we are getting in our related to our health is often related to the paradigm of eating and fasting. So that's quite interesting to note that it's different information because it's a different paradigm. It's a different way of being. I think we have one last question. Perfect timing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. Can you tell us how was the first time you heard about Breatharianism? What was your reaction? Did you feel it was just something natural, something which was already inside you, or can you tell us about your first experience of hearing about that possibility? Thank you.
Thank you. So, first time, and the first time actually I forgot about it, and then it's a friend who reminded me, and it's Fabio there. He spoke to me about it in 2011, but it just went by. The mind did not look at it, but consciousness grasped it. Because in 2012 the information came back, and someone brought a movie, and the movie was Living on Light, and we looked at it, and I said, oh yes, let's look at it. It means yes, let's look at it. And I think that this was why, because I had already received the information the year before. And then from that, everything went very quickly after that. I said, okay, I'm going to inquire a bit. And I was inquiring on internet, and there were some videos of people. And I bought some books. Book of Jasmine was around, book of Michael Werner, and the book of Henri Montfort. And then very shortly afterwards, a few months afterwards, I started my first process. So to answer your question a bit more specifically, this capacity is literally belongs to us. It's part of our evolutionary system. We don't need... Oops. The volume is a bit strong. Yeah. So it's the wind. Wow. Okay. We do not need to know our history, where it comes from. If we were already Breatharians in previous civilization, or if truly we were in the Garden of Eden, perfect, and then we ate the apple, we can think about that. We can also think it's just an evolutionary process, but what is important is what is happening now. Is it working for you or not? And how much is it working? Can you see a change? And is that change bringing you something beneficial? This is the only thing. When we say to people, if you're not breathing joy, go and have food, please, because it's part of it. It's not a problem. There's no conflict in between eating or not eating. On the contrary, we use the metaphor of the caterpillar and the butterfly. A caterpillar cannot become a butterfly if not big enough and with enough experience and life as a caterpillar. And when the caterpillar has been done of doing caterpillar life, he's going to do the cocoon. And the cocoon is going to take a certain time, and only from his own efforts he can take the cocoon, break it, and get out and become the butterfly. That is when you're going to go towards category 4. Caterpillar becoming the cocoon is the switch from 2 to 3, okay? And from 3 to 4 is butterfly, but butterfly flying, and flying with the experience. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Nicolas. It's always such a pleasure to hear you speak and be in the flow of information, consciousness speaking through you. I've listened to many of your talks, and I always learn something new each time. I have one technical question just for those who are watching online, and also for our audience here. The documentary you spoke of, was this In the Beginning There Was Light by Peter Straubinger?
Absolutely.
That's the one?
That's the one.
I put the link in the chat for those of you who are listening online, and I'll share it also in our common chat here for the group, so you know the documentary that Nicolas is talking about.
And Peter is a friend. He's going to be speaking on Monday at 5 p.m.
So if you want to hear a talk from the filmmaker, Monday at 5 is when he will be speaking live here at the festival. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, everyone, for joining together to open up the 9th Pranic World Festival here in Kokore in Italy. Just such a pleasure, again, to be here with you all. And for those of you joining online around the world, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.